visitation in the FBI, the monitoring issue.
Well, yeah, Mr. Harmon, are you ready to address that matter?
Your Honor, just as we finished our colloquy this morning, I asked Mr. Harmon, as he was exiting, what arrangements could be made to observe the sampling of the sock and any other item that the FBI was going to do for purposes of EDTA testing. And he indicated to me as we left that that would not be permitted. And
No observations, no outside observers.
yes, and
No photography and no videotaping.
I understand that to be the policy. Now, again, this raises, just in terms of timing and equity, the same point that I made this morning, but I didn't realize that this would actually be the case with the FBI with respect to this test. And that is that if, for example, they are going to be cutting apart the sock, as Mr. Harmon indicated this morning they would be at various different points, we would not have an opportunity to examine that sock, to look at it under a microscope, to examine it before it is again cut and destroyed. We want that opportunity before the witnesses get on the stand and they testify to have our experts look at it. Now, the court did note this morning that I think the actual term you used was examine, that Dr. Blade had a chance to examine the sock.
No, I thought I was being very precise in what I said. He's had the chance to observe it and to conduct photographs, or had the opportunity to videotape. However, I note, just so the record's clear, that he did not physically touch it, feel
Yes.
it, look at it.
Yeah, that's the problem, that he doesn't have the opportunity to do that, nor does he direct the examination in any way. Mr. Sims gets samples, does what he wants with them. Dr. Blake is there simply as a recorder and observer. And that's the problem here. So again, I would beseech the court to permit us, with respect to the sock, to have that opportunity, perhaps this weekend, so that we can have our experts examine the sock along with the other evidence, so that we can at least see it before they perform a destructive test. And I think that's consistent with the reasoning of Griffin and some ground that we traveled over once before this August.
About 3 times before. All right. Mr. Harmon?
You know, it's just amazing. They just don't want us to do this the way we've proposed to do it. And if we reflect back on when I first broached this subject, I invited them to avoid this very thing by joining with us. Let's not, don't make us pick a lab that you don't like and then want to nitpick with discovery. And I have a little difficulty with Mr. Scheck's surprise that that the FBI won't allow visitors. He knows that. He's a national DNA expert. They just don't allow that. So this feigned indignation or surprise is, to borrow one of his favorite phrases, disingenuous at best. We could have avoided this had they sought to do this to find out the truth of what's in those socks and now the gate stains, which have been identified as Mr. Simpson's. And they didn't do it. And now we have finally found the schedule that pleases this court, and they want to do something before that to interrupt the logistics.
Doesn't please me, it mollifies me.
I'm not sure I'm in the business of mollifying anybody, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
Well, lawyers should always be in the business of mollifying the court.
Only when it suits the ends of justice, Your Honor.
All right.
Dr. Blake has seen these things. He's seen when they've been sampled. I've recounted a day in the life of Gary Sims, October 27th, when they were there till midnight. And now, we're in the business, or we've been setting up this elaborate pickup and delivery schedule where we will get the evidence where we said we would on Friday, and now they want it to be someplace else on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm at a loss to do anything except to say, you have told us what we could do. That is what we would like to do. We will be glad. Everything's been documented. There's nothing to fear except the truth of, is there any EDTA in that sock? And that's what we want to get to the bottom of, and we will know that Monday evening, and Mr. Scheck can then have at it. He could have his Fry hearing or whatever else he wants to. Somehow the talk of all these Fry hearings tells you that they know what the answer is going to be. And there's a reason they know, because somebody at the end of the table told them that. So we just like to...
I object to that. I think that's highly improper. It serves no purpose whatsoever. And if this is a legitimate motion, let him make a motion. But if he's here to give speeches to the public, we have a place out.
Well, counsel, come on. Well, Mr. Harmon, actually, the issue we're discussing here is the FBI policy regarding outside observers. Will they be videotaping?
No.
Any photography conducted during the course of their testing? I assume some.
Whatever they routinely do, I'm ignorant of that point, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
All right, so it's your position that this is the lab that can do this test, and that's their standing policy, has been their policy forever and ever.
That's absolutely correct. Mr. Scheck knows that, too.
All right.
Could you know, since we're adding things on the calendar, where's 47, 50, and 78? You ordered them to tell us where that is, and we're dying to find that out. So,
Well, I want to just hear the last comments about the FBI policy.
Okay.
Then I'd like to hear from Mr. Hodgman on the non-biological evidence, and then we'll shift into the whereabouts of those three other items.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
With respect to Mr. Hodgman, Your Honor, may we, he's not down here, and may we request that we address the non-biological evidence first thing in the morning?
No, I was told we were going to do that at the close of business. We were supposed to do it today at 9 o'clock. And you asked leave, or Mr. Harmon asked leave on Mr. Hodgman's behalf to file a letter with the court, which I have been expecting all day and has not arrived. I was told that Mr. Hodgman was on his way down.
It does not appear to be the case. We have not had a chance to discuss this with Mr. Hodgman. The first I heard that he was coming down with any kind of letter was when the court told me just a few minutes ago.
Well, this was the beginning of our discussion at 9:30 this morning. If you recall, my recollection is that you were here in court with us.
That was concerning the biological evidence, Your Honor.
Correct. And the agreement was that Mr. Hodgman, I had entered an order that all the non-biological matters be turned over. My recollect, Mr. Harmon then asked, would I put that off until the end of business today to allow Mr. Hodgman to examine the list and lodge any special objections, which I said I would give him leave till the end of the day today. So I assume either I'm going to get a letter from Mr. Hodgman laying out specific objections and or a waiver of the objections to the order of turning over the biological evidence. To non-biological evidence. Speak of the devil.
I've been called many things.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hodgman, and welcome.
And good afternoon, Your Honor.
I'm happy to see you again.
Thank you, sir.
I feel some responsibility for your absence the last few days, last several days.
Don't take any responsibility on yourself, Your Honor. I think the responsibility was mine, but I appreciate the thought.
Well, I'm concerned that the pressures and the pace of this case are going to take its toll on everybody involved, and I'm considering modifying the court hours simply because of the physical stress that's involved. And I think I recollect the last time we met that I had never seen you quite in that state before, and you and I have known each other for many years, and so I feel some responsibility for having caused so much stress in your life. I apologize to you for that. But having said that,
Your Honor, I do have a matter to raise with the court this morning, hence my arrival. Before I address the court, may I have just a moment with counsel?
certainly.
My fellow counsel. Your Honor, in order to expedite matters this afternoon, I prepared the letter which I have served upon the court as well as counsel.
Okay, let's take it from the top. Items, Category 1, items which the people reasonably anticipate will be subject of imminent introduction at trial. And what are these items? I don't have my correlation list immediately at hand.
Yes, Your Honor. Item 18, athletic shoes, Reebok. Item 19, hair and fibers which were removed from the number 9 glove. Item 27, a plaid cap. Item 35, keys which were recovered from the ground at the Bundy crime scene. Item 40, a white metal ring recovered from the Bundy crime scene. Item 46, a menu or paper menu recovered from the Bundy crime scene. And item 110, which consists of some hairs and fibers collected from the glove, otherwise referred to as item number 9.
All right, when you say imminent introduction, Ms. Clark, when do you anticipate getting to these items?
The, the plaid cap, the ski cap, are going to come on with the very next witness. The keys are going to, and 9:35 as well, will come on with the next witness, Your Honor.
Who is the next witness?
Detective Lang.
I'm sorry,
Detective Lang.
Lang.
And the ring as well.
Have we identified that ring as belonging to anybody?
Yes. Lovely. And the menu also. I mean, these are all coming in now. I mean, Friday. Or the tomorrow. For the Detective Phillips.
All right, let me ask as to items 113, 160 through 169, 221, 225 through 235 items in paragraph 2. Mr. Scheck, it's the representation of the people that these items have already been examined by the defense.
Do you recall this, Mr. Scheck?
All right, let's do this. Counsel, I've had my court reporter working all afternoon, so let's take a break. Why don't you guys compare your notes, because you attorneys compare your notes. I've been criticized for referring too generically to you all. Why don't we compare our notes to see which items, because by item number I can't recollect as to what each one of these are. Let's compare our notes and then we can confer in chambers afterwards. I need to give my court reporter a break. All right, we'll stand in recess then as to 9 o'clock. We're in recess until 9 o'clock. I'll talk to Mr. Scheck and Mr. Hodgman in chambers.